Hello everybody, it's Tim here again, here another review, this time for Jessica Jones, the series, since I reviewed Daredevil last time, and I'm pretty much catching up on all the Marvel Netflix shows that I didn't see, and all the Marvel shows in general that I haven't seen yet. As far as Jessica Jones goes, from 1 to 5 stars, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed this show. It isn't perfect, it has some of the same problems that the Daredevil series did, and I'm kind of starting to see a pattern in the way these are written in terms of these Netflix shows, these Marvel shows. Problems here are, like I said, similar to the Daredevil show. There's a lot of like side characters, like this drug addict character named Malcolm, who's in like the first season, who we find out's being kind of like used by the villain or whatever. And Jessica Jones helps like get him clean from his drug addiction and everything. And then after that, he just kind of sticks around in the show, which I didn't have a problem with at first. But then there's like entire episodes that just cut away from the action. It's just like dedicated to this dude's like love life and just like him going out and doing stupid shit. And I'm just like, what's the point here? This is just a side character who is not that interesting, who's just taking up time from the main plot of the hero, the Jessica Jones character, or the anti-hero, if you will. So I'm like, who cares what this dude is doing? Why are we focusing so much on him? He's not that interesting. Um, and then you got the other character named like Hogwart or something like that, or Hogworth or whatever, or whatever her name is, played by Carrie-Anne Moss. And Carrie-Anne Moss is the best acting in this show in terms of performance, like acting wise. But again, there's entire like sections of episodes and almost entire episodes dedicated to this side character who is an asshole lawyer who goes around doing like shady shit and everything. But there's entire sections of episodes and entire episodes almost dedicated to this character. And I'm like, why? Why? She's not that interesting. And she's a lesbian, which I don't care, but there's entire episodes like dedicated to her lesbian love life, and I'm like, why? Why do I care about this character? She's not interesting, and she's just there. Maybe it's because this show is focused on female characters, with Jessica Jones, of course, being a female character, that maybe they throw in like this love triangle type stuff and all that for the female audience, I'm assuming, I guess, who care more about that, or maybe might be more into that kind of stuff because, you know, the male audience obviously isn't going to care as much about that kind of stuff. That's more geared towards a female audience. Like, of course, romantic comedies target audience and stuff are female, are the female audience. So I'm like, is that for them? I don't know. But watching this from my point of view, I'm like, I don't give a fuck about this character's love life. I don't care. Um, but the main like crux of the first season or whatever is like Jessica Jones and her sister Trish. Um, um, but she's not her biological sister. Pretty much Trish's character and her mom or whatever like adopted Jessica Jones after her family was in a car accident, and she was discovered or whatever, and then she had powers that emerged where she's got kind of like enhanced strength or whatever, and she can like jump really far. I believe in the comics she can fly, but here I don't really ever show her fly, or at least I don't remember seeing it. And that's obviously a budget thing, but yeah. So her sister Trish or whatever, is that their relationship is pretty much like the main crux of the first season, and they're going against this character. The main crux of the first season really is like Jessica Jones versus this bad guy named Kilgrave, who's played by David Tennant, who does a great job. He's the best villain of the 3 seasons, I think. Um, and he does a great job here, and pretty much he can just say anything and get you to do whatever he says. And then by the end of the season, Jessica Jones has no choice but to kill the dude, because it's like, well, if he gets locked up, would it be able to even work? I mean, the dude just has to speak and he can just do anything and get away. So it's a very big risk, like putting this dude in jail or anything, or allowing him to continue to exist, because he could literally just like go meet the president or something, be like, yeah, launch the nukes, there, done. You could just like wipe everybody out. So it's a kind of a tough situation letting this dude live. Like, the only other thing she could probably do is like rip the dude's tongue out or something, I guess. um or have the authorities get him and they'd have to keep him like a medically induced coma or something. Maybe that, but I'm not sure if that could even be. I don't know, but I guess she figures that the only way to take care of the dude is to kill him, that there is really no choice. And that's kind of something that haunts her or whatever, because she doesn't want to be a killer. She is trying to be like that whole hero thing where she doesn't want to kill anybody. I get it. And then later on in the second season, her mother comes back, and she's like being abused by this prison guard eventually when she ends up going to jail because she also has superpowers, but they're like it's making her crazy and she's going out and killing people. Eventually she gets captured and there's this guard that's abusing her or whatever. Jessica Jones goes to like straighten the dude out, and he ends up like macing her in the face and she kills him in pretty much self-defense. But that was a self-defense murder. That wasn't something that she did like to actually kill, didn't plan to kill the dude. That was obviously self-defense. But yeah, the first season I'd probably give like a 3.5 out of 4, I would say. Season 2, I actually the villain in season 1 is better with Kilgrave, but in season 2, when there's really no villain really, and it's pretty much just like the dramatic playoff between Jessica Jones's character and her mother, I think the way it's more dramatically satisfying to me. Sorry about that, my phone's shaking a little, but I think it's more dramatically satisfying to me in an impactful way, drama-wise, because by the end, Jessica Jones's mother has to be put down, and her sister, like character Trish or whatever, ends up killing her, and it's really sad. And you get the idea that the reason Trish specifically wanted to do it is not because she wanted to like save Jessica or whatever from, potentially being killed by her mother or being shot down with her by accident by the police. It's more like she just wanted to be a hero. She wanted to validate herself. And it also shows that the Trish character, although she wants to be heroic, is not really got the perfect mindset to be a hero, because a real hero would have tried to talk the character down, the mother down or whatever, and tried to do something else before they would have resorted automatically to just shooting her, because she was pretty much ready to give up anyway. And if Trish had showed up there and just been like, "Hey, do you just give up or whatever?" She would have been like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. Here's Jessica, I'm done," and that would have been it, really. But she just resorts to killing, so that shows that she's really not like got the hero mindset. She's more willing to just like blow people away, which of course plays into the third season where they got this asshole killer named Salinger, who's probably the most evil character of all 3 seasons in terms of just how scummy the dude plays it, just the vibe he gives off. And he just goes around killing people because he kind of seems like he has like an inferiority complex where he doesn't like the idea of people existing or whatever, that he feels like don't work hard in life, but really he just kind of gets off on torturing people who he feels like have an easy ride in life is really what it is, or an easier ride. So he just goes around killing people for that reason, and eventually he gets stopped by Jessica Jones and the Trish character, and her sister, I mean, and then he takes it out on them by killing their mother. Trish's actual biological mother and Jessica Jones' adopted mother, pretty much. He kills her, and that causes Trish to like fly off the deep end. So she goes and like beats the ever living shit out of the dude. No big loss there. He ends up going to jail by the end, and Trish gets the idea of like, well, maybe he could get out, which I really don't see how this dude could ever get out. But of course, Trish doesn't want to risk it, and she's still got that bloodlust, so she like tracks the dude down and kills him by like beating his head in. Which her killing him out of revenge or whatever, that could maybe be forgiven since he did torture her mother and everything and all that, so that could probably be let go. But of course, in the third season, they drive it home that Trish is like completely lost it. She's gone way too far because she's killed like multiple other criminals, and so she's just, you can tell she's got a bloodlust now where she's gonna like fly off and just like keep killing criminals over and over and over and over. You can tell she's like pretty much going psychotic eventually, to the point where she even grabs like an innocent woman and starts like holding her as a shield by the end to try to get away from Jessica, who is now trying to stop her. And eventually she gets stopped by Jessica Jones at the end, and she gets arrested, and that's pretty much the end of the end of her character. And you can see like Jessica's watching her or whatever, and she feels bad about it because it's her last pretty much family member left. Her whole family is pretty much gone at this point. And you can see Trish like give her a look like, yeah, she kind of gets the idea or understanding that she has went too far, and she kind of accepts the fact she's going to jail. So there's a little bit of sadness, but at the same time, closure there for the Jessica Jones character, and she gets ready to like leave New York or Hell's Kitchen or whatever, but then she decides to like stay there, and she's gonna suck it up and be a hero. And that's pretty much her arc throughout all 3 seasons, that she finally accepts the fact that she is a hero, and she's gonna try to be a hero and continue to do that. Because all through the show, she's pretty much kind of drinking alcohol and like, I'm not a hero. And then by the end, of course, she accepted being a hero or whatever. So in a way, this is stronger, like as a show as a whole, than the Daredevil show, the 3-season Netflix one, just because of the fact that it is a complete arc from beginning to end with this character here. Whereas in the Daredevil show, it just kind of ends with like Bullseye or whatever being still alive and like waking up and, you know, getting hinted that he's going to wreak havoc in a season 4. So that show just doesn't have an ending really for those 3 seasons. And of course we got Daredevil Born Again. But the writing in Daredevil was better than the writing here. It was stronger, and the characters were stronger. But here, though, this does feel more like a complete show. So for that, if I had to compare this just to the Netflix Daredevil, I would say that this is maybe a stronger watch, just in the fact that it feels more complete. Like after these 3 seasons completing Jessica Jones's arc, it feels like, well, you could just stop here, that this character doesn't really need to return, is what I'm saying. Whereas the Daredevil one, it leaves you wanting more, like another season, because it really has no ending in that 3rd season. So yeah, overall, 2 great shows, both not amazing, but both flawed. The Daredevil and Jessica Jones shows are, but definitely 2 of the better comic book based shows. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again.